Thank you so much for joining me, man. This is so awesome. All right, I'm going to flip this hourglass. This is 1 hour, almost. And then also I have these cards, sort of topic cards, just to talk about certain things. But first, I definitely want to talk about you and kind of your background. Before we get into that, how are you doing? What were you up to just recently?
I was just today, just answering messages and emails, and then starting to pack up the Cafe NELA.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yes. Final days, September 22nd, right?
Yeah.
All right. I will not be there. I will actually be in New Orleans during that weekend, man. Yeah. But for my birthday week is September 13th, and then but my buddy got me Iron Maiden tickets, so we're like, let's go the weekend after. So we've been planning this, and then I was like, no, the last day I won't be here. So, how are you feeling about it? Cafe NELA's closing.
It's hard, but
it's time.
Yeah.
To do that kind of thing too. It's kind of like you had like a TV show. You had like 6 seasons, 6 years, except no breaks, nonstop.
Yeah.
Over 1,000 shows, I think I read, right?
Yeah, we're at like about 1,090 now.
Wow, Jesus Christ! And all right, so let's go back a bit. We'll come back to Cafe NELA. Where are you from?
I was born in Hollywood, and I grew up there till 1980.
Okay.
And then my family moved to the Palisades, and I lived there.
Okay.
From 1980 to 1986.
Yeah.
Then moved back to Hollywood. And then lived a little bit like in Palms and Mar Vista, and then back to Hollywood, and then I moved over to Mount Washington in 2010.
Shit!
In 2000.
Oh, in 2000.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. How do you like Mount Washington?
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
Once we had my daughter, it's just a better place for kids.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, you were saying you have a daughter that's going to college, right? So yeah 2000. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a 19-year-old daughter.
19-year-old,
and a 17-year-old son.
Wow. Okay. Damn. All right. So you moved. So you've been here, and I know you're a musician, obviously, or else why would you even start Cafe NELA? Where did you start playing music?
I guess probably at my house. My family played music, and then just starting in junior high school, just friends, bands with friends.
Yeah.
And then my first real
What'd you play?
Originally drums.
Oh yeah.
And then my first real band was called Permanent Trails, with Dave Jones, who's the bass player of Carnage Asada now.
Oh, nice.
And then I played drums for that, and he played bass, and a guy named Jeff Spindler played guitar.
All right, cool. And then how long did that go for?
Maybe about a year, and then Dave Jones joined another band called Magnolia Thunder Pussy.
Yeah.
And then in 1988, the drummer for Magnolia Thunder Pussy asked me to go. He was in that band, didn't exist anymore, and he asked me to go see his jazz band and videotaping, because I was videotaping bands.
Okay.
And I started videotaping this band called Halfway to Cleveland.
Yeah.
And then I ended up, joining because their bass player quit, and then the leader wanted someone that didn't know how to play bass.
Oh, funny. But you know how to keep time, right? Yeah. So you had that going for you.
I did that band from 1988 to about 1993, and then the Carnage Asada was an outgrowth of that.
Yeah.
It was me and the drummer originally started doing our little side project, and then we just did recordings in jammed in his garage.
Nice.
And then then back with Dave Jones, he was doing another band called Pipsqueak.
Uh-huh.
And then they asked us to join in when they were playing in Raji's, so I played with them, and then that went well, so we decided to all jam together.
Put it all together, yeah.
And then that turned into Carnage Asada.
Right.
And then we got George Murillo, who went to high school with us, to sing.
Yeah.
And then after 2 shows, Pat Palma and Jesse Engel, the original guitar player, quit. And then it was we did a couple of things with just Dave Jones and George Murillo and myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then Steve Reed felt sorry for us and joined. And then Dave Jones and Des Cadena joined.
Nice. And then don't you play cello in
Yeah.
that band? Yeah. Okay. Where'd you pick up cello?
In cello, in the Halfway to Cleveland band, I was playing bass.
Yeah.
And then also some guitar. And then the leader of the band was an old beatnik guy named Doc Williams, who played woodwinds and drums and cello. And then he got lymphoma. So I bought the cello off him before he passed away. And he taught me a little bit from that. And I started playing cello in Halfway to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Just kind of like a tribute to him. And then from there I joined Waco on cello also.
Wow. What did you think about Somos Misteriosos' song Carnage Asada when you first heard it?
That was really good. Yeah.
It's such a silly song. Dulay's he's a really good lyricist, and you can really hear his what the words he's saying. And
yeah, he emailed me and asked for names of a bunch of Carnage Asada songs. Like the lyrics.
Oh, they're all really?
Song,
oh,
yeah.
I didn't even know that. That's funny. He reached out to us. You knew he was doing it.
I didn't know what he did it for. I didn't,
oh, okay.
I just gave him a bunch of names of our songs, and then he put it all into a song.
That's so cool, man. That's fun. What? Yeah. That must feel nice having a song after you guys, right? So I know you were also a roadie for Red Cross, right?
Yeah, I was roadie for a bunch of bands.
Yeah.
The first one I went on tour with was I went on tour with Kilroy in 1984.
Oh, yeah.
And then Red Cross in 85 and 87. And then Pain and Willie in 87. And then Celebrity Skin in 91.
Damn. So you were on tour, going traveling the world, or
just traveling U.S.
U.S.
Yeah, Red Cross went to Vancouver, but it was the world.
Right. Oh, okay, that was the worldliest. That's still cool. What's a crazy road story?
We played a show in with Celebrity Skin. There was a show in Baltimore, and then the guitar player kind of disappeared, and then didn't make it for the show in West Virginia.
Oh,
but then we found him, or he made it after they played, I guess.
After they played?
Yeah.
How many guitars did they have in the band? Two. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So they could get by with that.
But that tour was interesting. I was all opening up for Guns.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was a weird combo of bands.
Yeah.
Most people were just there to see. I guess in West Virginia they were just there to see whatever show they had.
Oh, I see. Okay. So they're they didn't feel like they were missing out or anything.
When the second guitar. People that even knew.
Right, exactly. Of course, you guys know and probably freaking out, right? Oh my God. Yeah, this last show at Mango Napalm played at Cafe NELA. We live here. You could see how close we live to Cafe NELA. Our freaking bassist, we were wondering where the hell our bassist was. We're up at 9. The last song is happening. It's 9:07. I call him where are you? He's like, I thought we played at 10. I'm like, buddy, what are you doing? Get down here right now. And of course he got here in 5 minutes, but Jesus Christ. Calling you out, Noel. Okay, so where did Cafe NELA start? What were you? Was this always a thought you had? Was this how long was this a thought at first?
I probably always wanted to do a club since I started putting on shows.
Really?
And I started going to clubs and then started putting on shows at clubs when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And then, I taught school for a while. And then after I stopped doing that, I did the history lesson movie, and then I filmed the Gears movie. And I was kind of looking for the next thing.
I see.
And then I found the New Tops, which is what
right.
It used to be.
It used to be the Tops.
Was
or
for
New
sale,
Tops.
and it was for sale. I got a really low price. I was able to get it because during the recession. So
right. Oh yeah.
I just kind of stumbled into it, I guess.
And you're like, let's do it. Yeah, let's make this dream happen. Fuck, awesome, man. And what about? I mean, I know it seems kind of intuitive, maybe, especially coming from a musician, but like Cafe NELA, I'm like, I still feel kind of new to this. I've been playing for 10 years, but still, that's not a long time. And like you go to different venues. I've played at different venues, and nobody gives us like a drink ticket. Maybe a few places, but like always at Cafe NELA, drink tickets if you're performing. Guest list too as well if you want. Artists get everything at the door. Bar gets the bar sales, obviously. Like it's unheard of. Was that like was that always your thing, or?
Yeah, I want to do it. Yeah, because it's like coming from the musicians.
Point of view. Or was that a thing in the past? Like, were other venues like that? Because for my recollection, only Cafe NELA does that. Like maybe a few places gives you a drink ticket, but that's it.
Yeah, some places were better than others.
Okay.
But yeah, it's fair. Yeah, I try to be as generous as possible.
Yeah.
Which might be why I'm going out of business.
Yeah, no, I know it's unfortunate, but
But I mean the guest list thing, because we give all the money to the bands
to
anyway,
the bands anyway. So yeah, why
it
not?
doesn't really hurt us to have.
Right.
Yes, but even for most places, it wouldn't really hurt to have guests, even if they're taking a cut or all of the door.
No.
Because the guests are going to be buying beer.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that was kind of unheard of when we started playing at Cafe NELA, was the guest list too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we can have a guest list. Like, it does make sense, but for some reason that was just new to us. Yeah, man.
I know when I used to do shows at Tease Bowl, we didn't get drink tickets, but at least we got all the door
money. Yeah, I was gonna say it's either or. You either get drink tickets or you get a cut of the door, or never both. And no, you had a really good, like, clear, like, this is a place for musicians, and like people just hung out there. It was a cool place to hang out. Yeah, that side area is so interesting. How many people fell down that hill?
As far as I can tell, none.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. It's such a steep hill, and it's funny.
Yeah, that hill used to be the bank of the LA River.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no shit. I had no idea. The LA River used to run right through there?
Over the course of like the last few thousand years, it ran between Isabel and
wow.
like the other side would be like by the Riverside Drive and the 5.
Yeah. I love that show. I love LA history.
And then just it meandered
until right. Oh, I see.
Channelized.
Gotcha. Damn cool. That's some nice history. What was Tops before, or what was it called? The New Tops.
It was New Tops.
New Tops, and then it was
before that was the Spot.
The Spot. That's right.
And then you listen to people like Axel or like Carlos Guitaros, and they can tell you stories about the Spot. Like Dave Drive, the original drummer for the Gears.
Yeah.
Like his dad used to play there in the early 60s.
Oh, really? In the early 60s? Gee, yeah. Oh, so it's been a venue like that since the early 60s. I had no idea.
I think he was just like kind of singing songs and playing on guitar.
Gotcha. Was it always just a bar? Did they serve food there?
They might have served food, especially in the 40s and 50s, and I think the food kind of devolved in the alcohol evolved. Yeah.
No, of course, it became like a bar. But I mean, like, just those tables. It's like I don't know. It seemed like it was like a restaurant at some kind. Maybe like a small restaurant.
I think originally it was a restaurant.
It was a restaurant. Okay. Yeah. What a magical place. And now permanent.
But it was because where the Rio de Los Angeles Park is now used to be the trailer yards for the Southern Pacific Railroad, and then it was like a bar for the people that worked at the
people
railroad.
that worked there. Really? Okay. Damn, that's cool. That's a lot of history. Do you I don't know, do you believe in any sort of ghosts or spirits or stuff like that? The ethereal?
I mean, there's probably like the spirit of people like Dave Drive or Arthur or Duchess Assad, people that used to go there and hang out there.
Yeah.
And if they have like spirits that move around, they'll probably come back to check things out.
Probably come back, hang there. Yeah. All right, so you do kind of believe it. I'm totally into all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I love it all. Yeah. So you start Cafe Nela, and how soon? I mean, I know you had the Gears play there early on, but like, how soon do you think? Oh, Didn't you have what are they called? They're from the desert. My sister told me about
Fatso Jetson?
Fatso Jetson.
Yeah.
She told me like, "Hey, Fatso Jetson's playing at a bar by our house." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" That was the first time I heard of Cafe Nela. Yeah, when did it all sort of? When did you start noticing like an emerging scene kind of happening, or was it right away?
Well, when we started, we were just kind of picking up like the fractures of the scene that was already
That was already there.
there.
Okay.
Like we were doing shows at like El Corrida and Lincoln Heights. And,
Oh, right, Mr. T's
Legion Hall. And
right.
before that, like a Tees Bowl.
Okay.
And Mel's Bar.
Okay.
What
What about the Redwood?
Yeah, like Dirty Ed was doing the shows at the Redwood, but yeah, like
Oh, okay.
like Carnage decided did like a residency of like Dirty Ed Tuesdays there.
Oh shit.
But it was like a scene that kind of existed since the 70s.
Okay.
And then it just was without a nucleus,
Yeah.
especially since after like Al's Bar and Mr. T's.
Right. Right.
So we just kind of started getting those bands a place. And then from that, we started attracting kind of younger bands
Yeah.
too, and then kind of gave it like a whole intergenerational thing where so you got bands like with people in their 20s and bands with people in their 70s
Yeah.
playing the same shows.
Yeah. No, that was I feel like that was this last Satan Fest was like yeah, we had well no one's in their 70s. Wait, never mind. They're in their 50s. I apologize to the people I might have offended. God, wow. Yeah, it is a shame. We were all so saddened to hear about it closing. All right, but let's move on. So when do you notice? I guess the 20-year-olds start coming in.
We don't have the 21-year-olds.
Or the 21-year-olds. I meant the people in their 20s. Yeah.
Like one thing that brought it in was Tony from The Rock had started doing shows there because he was friends with like Dirty Ed and Nugs.
Yeah.
And then he brought in Pedal Strike.
Oh, okay.
And that was like one of their first shows.
Was
and
that
then from them, we got introduced into like a whole
whole new
layer
thing,
of like
yeah.
newer bands.
Right.
Plus we learned of newer bands from like Tony from Underground Alliance started doing shows
Yeah.
there. And just you get like a band that would come in from another band, and then they would bring it.
Yeah.
And
then
that's
it just
how
started.
you get
Right.
like a scene, but like everyone's connected in some
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, well, I think we got in through Yours Cruelly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how we sort of snuck our way in.
And she got in from just living down the street.
Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she's super close. No, I used to, you know where Patras is?
Yeah.
I used to live right up Avenue 30. Like, I grew up there, and then my family moved up here. But then I moved out for a while, and then I'm back here for family reasons. But it's funny because I think I was in East LA for 3 years, and we were like doing shows at Cafe NELA. I'm like, fuck, why did I move out when we're now just starting to do shows in my old neighborhood? But now I'm back. So, so I believe you said that it was only, or I think I read, or someone told me you were only going to keep it up for like 4 years, or that was
I
the
didn't
plan.
have a definite plan. My goal,
Oh, you were just like
my goal was 1,000 shows. Though.
1,000 shows. Oh, okay, all right.
But I didn't have like a definite
Gotcha.
end time, but it was just kind of like running out of money makes it
No.
an end.
No, of course. That happened. But then, hey, you made the 1,000 shows.
Yeah.
It's a great accomplishment. It's so rad. And I have so many goddamn memories from there, man, that are great. I think I spent the last 4 New Years there.
Mm-hmm.
The last 3 playing New Year's, and then the one before just seeing, what was that band called? Inazuma?
Yeah.
They were fucking rad. Yeah, man. What are you going to do for New Year's?
I don't know.
if you stay home with the family the one time. No, I don't know. Who knows? I was gonna say, what do you do? Oh, and I know that you're in a Warren City Council.
I was the neighborhood council.
You're a neighborhood council.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. Yeah, my sister ran into you, which I thought was interesting. What was that like?
It was. I learned a lot from that. Like, I got into it from they were doing meetings when like I bought Cafe NELA, and then all of a sudden they started doing like this big, huge development on San Fernando Road.
Oh yeah.
So I went to the meeting about that.
Yeah.
And then it was like a bunch of people fighting about the like there was the Divine Savior Church, and then there was like a lady that lived across the street from it that was always really mad at it. And then they were mad at her because like she'd just get like megaphones and yell at everybody.
Really?
And then so like they just like were battling for like about an hour and a half while like the developer guy just was like sitting on his thing waiting. And then like by the time they got to him, the meeting was over. And then like I went to a few other meetings and they were having trouble even just making quorum. So I joined, and then I got elected when they had the actual elections.
Yeah.
And then I ended up being the vice chairman, and then the chairman, and then the vice chairman again, and then the chairman quit, and then I became the chairman again, and then I ran again as the vice chairman, and then the chairman quit again and became the chairman.
Yeah.
And then I just now I can run again because I knew I was leaving the Cafe NELA, so I didn't want to be the chairman that like bails in the middle.
Right. No. Yeah. What? So what?
That way, we did like they tried to do like a thing called a road diet on like Figueroa by like the 5 and the 110 interchange. They wanted to make that into like a 1-lane road.
Really?
And like from someone that used to have to like drive from Mount Washington to South Central every morning. It's always really gridlocked there with 2 lanes, and then to make it 1 lane would have been like awful. Super insane. Yeah, because it's people going to like Nightingale, and then people like you can only do it's a canyon, so it's just the 110 and the Figueroa. Yeah, and then 110 usually gets jammed up, so people just do Figueroa. Yeah. So like we worked to stop them from doing the road diet on the Figueroa. The Department of Transportation kind of like they gave this like executive summary, but then their actual data didn't match what they were saying because they weren't talking about. They were saying it wouldn't affect the traffic, which didn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense.
And then it wouldn't affect the traffic at like midnight. It wouldn't affect the traffic at
when there's like when everyone's already asleep. Yeah. What about that part's the worst during a Dodger game. God. Anyways, wait. So did you? My question is like, did you gain any knowledge that could like help you with Cafe NELA or like
just a game more? Yeah, just everything you do gives you more knowledge.
Yeah.
But it was interesting because like the people were like advocating for like the road diet, like, and then you're like telling them how it's not going to work, and then all of a sudden like you're the man.
Well, that's pretty rad. Yeah. Well, like did that just like what knowledge did you learn that helped you with Cafe NELA? Like, was they were going to develop something that would have like screwed you guys over, and you're like, all right, let's get rid of that. You know what I mean?
No, because like we stopped them. They were going to try and do a median on Cypress Avenue, like where it's they have like the space between the double yellow lines. People use for like, trucks use it for loading and unloading, and also use it for turning around. Yeah. So they wanted to do a median on that, so we were able to convince them that didn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
They put a median on Fletcher, which is in Glassell Park region, and to me it's just dangerous because it's right by like the fire station, right by the police station.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even pull over now because you're stuck between a
Right.
median
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
street. So that like you can't like if the fire truck needs to come
Right. You
off
can't
of
just.
Fletcher going towards Eagle Rock,
Yeah. Yeah.
they
Yeah.
can't pass you.
Yes. Doesn't make any sense. God. All right. Yeah. Well, that does help. Um. And all right.
But a
Well.
lot of like people come in like they try and do kind of like social engineering. Like they
Mhm.
think if they make it harder to drive, less people will drive and more people ride bikes, which might be the case. But the thing is, like people, if they got like 3 kids going to like 2 different schools,
No.
they're
Totally.
not going to put them on like the back of
Right.
a bike. Or if you're like
Yeah.
driving a truck with like a half ton of beer, you're not gonna,
No. Exactly. You're not gonna get one of those 3-person bikes,
yeah.
and that only exists in movies. So all right. So you came to the end of Cafe Nela. Doing all these final shows. Is Carnage Asada gonna play?
Yeah, we're playing the second to last show,
second to
which
last
is
show.
like a repeat of the first show.
Oh, really?
So it's Carnage Asada, Atomic Sherpas, Hika, Nostradamus, Garrettson and Gorodetsky,
Nice.
Somos Mysteriosos,
Yeah. Oh, great.
which are all bands that played our first show on September 21st, 2013.
Oh, September 21st was the first
First
day.
show.
Oh, so you got a full year. Damn. Or full,
Full 6 years.
full 6
6
years. I
in
mean,
one day.
6 years in one day. Pretty rad, man.
So it's not just 6 years. It's
Yeah.
6 years in one day.
What do you think your next endeavor will be?
I'm not sure. I got like about 9 things I'm thinking of doing.
Oh, wow.
And then I might do, I might end up doing something.
Yeah,
other than that.
completely different. Yeah.
I'm just gonna take probably about 3 months to like kind of rest and also figure out and do all the aftermath of Cafe NELA,
Mm-hmm.
and then kind of figure out what to do, and then probably start in 2020.
Where did the name Cafe Nela come from? Obviously Nela, Northeast LA, but
Yeah, just from working with the gears, and they were always like, oh, NELA, and then like I just thought Cafe NELA. It sounded good, like like the verbs.
Oh, okay. Cafe Nela.
Nela,
Yeah, I see.
And then, if you call it like a cafe, you get less like scrutiny because
That's
people
what I
thought it was.
That's what I heard. But that was like a theory. No one that had talked to you or even, we were like, I wonder if they just did that for the like get away with like the beer or something.
Yeah, I mean they knew we had a beer license.
Yeah,
because
you have to have a beer license. Yeah, but
but also I mean it was like we even like doing like constant punk and metal shows. It was way calmer than like it was when it was Tops.
oh wow, really?
So for like the police in the neighborhood is still an improvement.
Yeah, did you guys ever get any flack from the police or anything?
Not really, because
Okay.
we didn't give them any. We don't really have any problems. We never have like the police or ambulance come,
Yeah.
and like in
Yeah.
Cypress Park, the police have like real stuff to do.
No, totally.
So like
But they never really
if
knew.
we were
Yeah.
like in like Glendale or like Sierra Madre or something.
Right,
we'd have
they'd be over
problems.
probably a lot.
But because
Good
we were in
point.
Cypress Park, we were just kind of like
Yeah, where there's
the
serious
weirdos
shit
off in the
happening.
corner, and then they had to like deal with like actual
No.
things.
Totally. It's true. Yeah, growing up here.
But yeah, like they tried to do like that shows like at that church on York, and that only lasted like a month.
Shows on York, where?
Like they had a church, like a big church, like around maybe like Avenue 48 in York.
Oh, I know that church. It's my sister actually used to work there.
And then they would like someone bought it, and they did shows there for maybe like a month or two.
Really?
And then they got
Oh, they were
closed down.
giving out. Oh, wow. Damn. What about some of the riffraff? Any of that stuff sort of happen? Come into Cafe Nela? Are you allowed? If you don't want to talk about it, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't want to like, say who's riff raff or not. I guess.
Okay. All right. No worries.
But we always had a peaceful place. Like
Yeah.
people are just generally pretty respectful of the venue.
Okay. Good.
And respectful of each other. Like a lot of people that was like 30 years ago would be fighting with each other, but now like they're in their 50s, so they've chilled out.
They chilled out and don't care. No. Great, man. Yeah. So you never had any. Yeah. So there were never any like bar fights or anything, or somebody threw like a glass in someone's face.
Not really.
Wow. Awesome.
I mean, I have to throw people out before for throwing trash cans, but they weren't throwing at each other.
Trash cans.
Yeah, just kind of like they like.
Oh, they pick up one of the trash bins and like
throw
just
it into the pit. Yeah.
Okay.
And then it's just bad because it's like glass all. Yeah.
Yeah, no, of course, exactly. Oh, I heard a story. There was a band, I won't name them, but I believe they brought a bunch of cheeseburgers and just threw them everywhere.
Matt Sabbath?
Yeah, yeah.
That's okay. That was part of their shtick.
Well, yeah, that was part of the shit. Did they clean up afterwards?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. As long as they cleaned it up. I thought like somebody else had to clean it up for y'all. Jesus Christ. All right, good. All right. Well, shit. Any final things to say about Cafe NELA?
I'll always think of new things to say, but I'm really glad I did. Or yeah, sorry I can't do it longer. That's just the way it is.
No, we'll always have that. You know.
Yeah, I did it as good as I could for 6 years, and kind of had to stop. At least kept it going. Yeah, instead of making major changes that would have changed the way it is. Sometimes it's better to just let somebody else make the major changes because it's going to be different than
right.
You know, he has it his way, and then hopefully he takes the good influences from what I did, and goes with that. But it's up to him what he does.
I wonder if the stickers are going to remain or not.
It depends how much he remodels it.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Oh, they're gonna like remodel it too. Okay.
But yeah, it's up to.
Yeah, it's up to them. Yeah.
I mean, it's doing it as a record store, and all those band stickers would look kind of appropriate.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm not.
Not holding your. Yeah, you have no idea. Yeah, of course. Shit, man. All right, let's move over to topic cards.
Okay.
And if I have any more questions, I'll just ask. But here we go. All right. Dreams. Talk to me about your dreams, man. And not like.
I guess Cafe NELA was like a dream. Yeah. And
you fucking lived it.
And then I woke up.
You were waking up. Hey, but it's still going strong. We got a month. This will go out in next a week from this Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, so around September 1st. So should be good to go.
Okay, so listeners, you have 22 days.
Yeah. Come on out to a show. I know I'll be there on a few nights.
But yeah, something I was always dreaming of, and then I was able to pull it off. So I guess I lived my dream.
It's pretty great, man. All right, let's see here. The Wild Man. Are you familiar with this concept, the Wild Man?
No.
All right, the Wild Man basically just means that there's a beast inside every man, that we're all just basically animals, and sometimes we forget that we are just
like Young or
creatures.
Somebody,
I think it came from Young, and then it comes from some other I can't remember this guy's name. But yeah, it sort of started from Young. Your thoughts on the Wild Man, sir?
I mean, I guess all people are animals. And then people evolved and I guess became more civilized, but they still have animal natures.
Nature instinct,
yeah. Really thought about it that way.
No worries. No, I think I kind of see it in music, how I relate to music sometimes. It's like seeing someone just like so in the moment or so into whatever they're doing, and then just going crazy with it, not even realizing what they're doing.
I guess you see people like that do too much drinking and drugs sometimes.
And then the Wild Man comes out.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What about there are people, there is a man named Daniel Martin who doesn't smoke, who doesn't drink. He's never played at Cafe NELA, but he's in a band called the Atolls, and he becomes a completely different person on stage. Like he's a guitarist, singer, and he is animated live, goes crazy, all that stuff. It's amazing to watch.
Some people do. Like
some people just have it. Yeah.
Like Jack Brewer, like when you see him off stage, he's kind of even shy a little bit.
Yeah.
And then once he hits that stage, just
just transforms. No, it's so amazing. That's what I was gonna say. So who were some of the people that you don't have to talk about any of my bands or anything like that. I know obviously we're your favorites, but I mean other bands.
That's why you play it every week.
That's why I play there every week, folks. No, but who were some bands that you were like, fuck, these guys like just really surprised you?
Like the Dogs.
I haven't heard of the Dogs.
They were a band from like the 60s. They were old, I guess from...
I guess who played at Cafe NELA?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, they played at Cafe NELA?
Yeah. Like they started out playing with like MC5 and the Stooges and like Ted Nugent and the Amboy Dukes. And then while those bands went on to like...
Yeah.
They were just like... ended up like still playing at Cafe NELA. But they
But
were
they're
like,
rad.
really intense.
Yeah. Sounds like it. Yeah, if they're
But they
playing
were
with
part
those
of like
guys.
the original like mass scene in the 70s.
Wow.
Like the Grandmothers was really intense too. That was like Don Preston and Bunk Gardner from the Mothers Convention with Danny Frankel on drums. And like sometimes we just stumble on stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, these were like people that used to be playing like the Fillmore, and then now they're like Cafe NELA.
Yeah, they're still playing. Hey, if there's a stage, some of those musicians will play it.
Yeah.
Didn't you have like Zappa guys play
That's
there?
what I'm saying, like Don Preston.
Okay, yeah.
We had Ike Willis also from Frank Zappa, Ike Willis
God.
project, and that's with Louis Metoyer is like another Glass Hill Park person.
Nice. Yeah, it's so interesting. That's what I wanted to talk to you about. Was this area? I grew up in this area. There's half Mexicans, half Filipinos. I was the only person that liked rock and roll growing up. Everyone else liked hip hop. I didn't know that there was a rock and roll scene. My father liked rock and roll, so I was like, I like rock and roll. And then I finally, figured out my own sort of music that I liked. And then I leave this place. And then, all of a sudden, there's this music happening all around Glassell Park. What do you think? Has it just always been here that I just didn't know?
Yeah, the Gears were here.
Yeah, the Gears were here, right.
Since 78. But before that, they had the LA Shakers, which was even probably since 76.
Oh, wow.
And then Carlos Guitarros was since the 70s.
Yeah.
And then he did Top Jimmy and the Rhythm Pigs, which was probably since 1980 to as long as they lasted.
Yeah.
So
I know it's here, but I just didn't know is what I'm saying.
And then I wasn't here at that time, and I started coming here probably, I guess, early 90s for Tease Bowl, originally, not originally, but when it came into my focus, it was there was a club called Fuzzyland that was at Mr. Tease Bowl with a guy named Jack Zinder was doing, and then he passed away in a car accident.
Oof.
And then just different people started doing shows. Gus Hudson was doing shows there.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of weaseled my way into doing shows there in the 90s. But there was lots of shows.
Yeah.
At Tease Bowl, from 94 to 2001, 2002.
Jeez.
And then after Joe Teresa, the original Mr. T, passed, things kind of weren't the same.
I see. That was around the time I got out of high school, so nothing was going on. Well, there you go. I was going to ask you, what's the wildest thing that happened at Cafe NELA? This isn't that wild, but it was cool to see. I can't remember the band name, but that one guy at the last show, he ran up on the bar and started playing guitar. That was fun.
Yeah. Well, we used to have this band called the Raw Power Rangers, which was
yeah, I've heard of them. Yeah,
the guitar player of Insect Surfers, was the singer. He dressed up it was all dedicated to the Iggy and Stooges Raw Power record. Don Bowles played drums, and Dave would just same thing Transformation, because he's a pretty mellow guy, and then he gets into his Iggy get up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes like beyond Iggy, and like not only go over the bar and stuff, but he used to climb the telephone poles.
Oh shit.
Like, we give him like a 200-foot mic cable. Not even like a wireless stuff, and just like.
Yeah.
And he'd just be like this, like 55-year-old guy, like in an Iggy outfit.
Yeah.
Singing off of the.
Wow.
Of the
telephone pole.
Yeah.
That's amazing. God, that's so fun. All right. Next card. Let's see. Comic books. Do you read comic books?
Not much anymore, but I used to a lot. Like,
Oh, yeah?
That was like, especially before I was in punk rock, like when I was in like later elementary school and in junior high school, I used to read a lot of comics.
What was your jam?
Especially Marvel.
Marvel, yeah.
Like Howard the Duck, Man Thing, Ghost Rider, kind of like the weird Marvel comics.
I never read Howard the Duck, but I know that there was like a lot more adults.
It was
right?
It was kind of
in the comics.
Like probably the guy that wrote it, Steve Gerber, seemed like he was probably doing like a lot of acid or something. Yeah, because it was just he'd be his power was like mediocrity. Yeah, this whole thing was like trapped in a world he didn't create.
Awesome.
Like he had no powers. Just all this stuff would go on around him.
Right.
And then like he'd be fighting like the cosmic accountant, or just how these weird like visions and like Kiss would come out and like chase him.
Yeah.
Like they did like all pros issue once.
Damn.
It was just like a really trippy comic around, I think like just like 31 issues.
Yeah.
But like that one, like I used to like the Freak Brothers, Zippy the Pinhead.
I've heard of that one. I haven't heard of the Freak Brothers.
That was like a comic in the 70s, just about like these three, I guess, I don't know if they were actual brothers, but just three people were brothers that just kind of revolved around like trying to like score drugs and not get busted.
God, get busted?
And not get busted.
Oh, not get busted.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a comic book?
Yeah, and
that's
then,
awesome.
There's the other one, like the New Adventures of Jesus, where like Jesus comes back to Earth, and then like
that's what I want to read.
Gets like busted by the cops because I think he's a hippie.
Yeah, of course.
Tried, like him to cut his hair and like draft him to go to Vietnam. It's like a weird.
Wow.
Like it's some trippy comics in the 70s.
Yeah, of course. Oh, I want to read that. What was that one called again?
The New Adventures of Jesus.
Okay, I'm gonna look up that one.
There was another one, like the 40-year-old hippie, because like back then, it was just, they were just making fun that like there would be like a hippie that's 40 years old.
Yeah.
And now there's like punk rockers that are like 65, but back then it was Another one like Mr. Natural, which is like a Robert Crumb comic.
Yeah. Great, man. What's kind of your thing that's not music related? Like, what do you like doing? Is either a hobby or just kind of?
I like reading about history.
Oh, okay.
I was a history teacher, so.
Oh shit! Well, there you go. What kind of history?
Right now, I've kind of been studying like ancient history.
Oh, really?
Like ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the pyramids?
It was just, it wasn't like they just like randomly like one day made pyramids. It was actually like evolutionary process. I mean, they started out by making like smaller buildings, and then they started making like mastabas, like bigger like tomb complexes.
Yeah.
And they started doing like step pyramids, and then they made like the Egyptian style conical pyramids. Like the original pyramids were more like kind of like Maya or Aztec pyramids, where you have like different levels.
Right.
But then they figured out how to do it without that, and then they like the pyramids they got now. You're just seeing like the under part used to be covered with limestone, so they'd be like shiny. Like,
Right. Yeah, especially in that sun. I heard that.
But it wasn't really like aliens. It was just kind of evolution in architecture that took place over like 1,000 years.
No, that makes sense. What about the Sphinx? I understand that like they think that that's way older than the pyramids, like way older than the pyramids, and they don't understand why. Have you read that or heard of that?
There's theories just because of like the way the rocks are.
Yeah. And
some theories of like those original like man's head and it got into a lion, or it's lion's head.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
The rocks
it's hard to tell
because
different.
You can't carbon date a rock.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, true.
But like like I've been reading like the Maxims of Ptahhotep, which is like one of the oldest books in existence, and that's pretty interesting. It was like a kind of like an influence. Like if you read stuff from like 2,000 years ago or 4,000 years ago, you can kind of see like there's different genres of writing that people were doing.
Yeah.
And you can see how that kind of influenced the people that wrote the Bible.
Really?
Like, yeah, they have like proverbs and
Yeah.
there's different genres of ancient literature.
Yeah.
And because the Bible's like an anthology of like,
No,
different
of course it is.
things.
Yeah, I believe like every culture has a flood story,
Yeah.
right?
And there wasn't just the thing is. Like there wasn't like a flood.
One flood that
the whole
everybody,
world.
yeah, exactly, yeah,
But
yeah.
most of those civilizations were in river valleys,
Right, or by water, yeah,
which
exactly,
flood,
yeah.
Like I mean, they found like all kinds of evidence of floods that just devastated Mesopotamia.
Right.
And then, like for them, their whole world, like they say, like the ark came to like Mount Ararat.
Right.
Like for them, that's like the farthest reaches of the world from Mesopotamia was Armenia. Yeah, like that. You can't
edge
go
of the
any
world.
farther because that's like if you go all the way up the river, that's where you are.
Yeah.
They didn't really know about much of the world, except for like between like
Of course.
Turkey to Iran.
Yeah. So when they say a flood of the world, that was their world.
That's
of
all
course.
they know. And then so someone in Egypt said there was like a big flood, or someone in like India said there was a big flood. And they just say that it was a long time ago. So everyone's saying there's a flood a long time ago because there was a flood somewhere a long time ago at some time.
Exactly. All right. Well, no, that's cool, man. That's fascinating. So history. When were you a teacher?
I was a teacher from 2001 to 2007.
What'd you teach?
I taught mainly world history and U.S. history, but also economics, government, life skills, remedial math, and stage crew.
God, they had life skills. Stage crew. What was stage crew for?
For like when they had plays or performances.
Oh yeah.
How the kids do the sound.
Yeah.
The lights.
Nice. I did all 8 plays in my high school, and it was best experience. Yeah, they made us go up on ladders and fix all the lights and all that stuff. Because we had no stage crew. It was just the actors. Was this it was high school?
I taught 5 years for the middle school and 2 years for high school.
Oh, middle school. Wow. Okay. Did you prefer one more than the other?
High school I like better.
Oh, high school, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. All right, let's go to another card. Oh wait, no, you said I wanted to talk about one of the subjects you taught. Oh, U.S. history.
Yeah.
U.S. history. Yeah, I've read. What's that one book called? The History of the United States. The People's History of the United States. Oh my God, is that a hard book to read when I was young? And because I went to Catholic school, man, and I had a completely different viewpoint of the world that changed when I was 17. And I read more and read stuff, and I read that around 17, 18. And I was like, holy shit, we really screwed over the Native Americans real fucking hard. And like, there's terrible depictions. But yeah, what are your thoughts on U.S. history?
It's brutal.
Yeah.
But the history of most countries are.
Right.
The people committed genocide on the Native American people.
Yeah.
And on the African American people too.
What's your background, by the way?
I'm Jewish.
Oh, you're Jewish. Okay. All right.
For Jewish people, actually, America was a lot better than
Europe
and the Middle East.
Yeah.
Like where my family came from, everybody got killed that didn't go to America. So it's
really
for us, it's a lot better here.
Oh my God!
For like some other people's groups.
No, I know African Americans and the Native Americans. I know. Yeah, and it's so crazy because it's such a young country. With you studying history and our history, and knowing that, where do you kind of see this country heading, or you think we're fine? Is kind of in a rough patch right now, or?
definitely in a rough patch
Yeah.
now. And then this election's kind of crucial to what happens. Yeah, like it's I've lived through like Reagan and Nixon and
Yeah.
the Bushes, and
Yeah. Yeah.
this is worse. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. It's so such an interesting time, and I feel like not a lot of I don't know. The conversation kind of feels like it goes everywhere all the time with all this stuff that's going on today. It's crazy how 2020 is kind of this culmination of stuff. Anyways, all right. Next. Oh wow. Next card is racism. You ever experience racism, sir?
Yeah, I mean, when I was growing up, like you'd have friends
really?
that like found out you were Jewish and then they weren't your friends anymore. And that
What?
was kind of harsh.
That is very harsh. Jesus Christ.
But same thing. Like we're better off here than
No, yeah, for
other
sure.
places.
But there's still that.
Yeah.
There's.
But I mean, there's still like a lot more racism towards other groups.
Sure, but there's also racism towards Jews. I mean,
Yeah.
it exists. Maybe not.
And then there's like racist people in every group. It's not like
Yeah.
It's not limited to like white people or only
Right.
racist people.
Right.
And then like when I was teaching South Central, you find like black people that are racist against Mexicans.
Yeah.
Mexicans that are racist against black people.
You ever ate a mouse?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that ending where like the son is taking his father, who's like a survivor, home, and then like he like gets all weirded out with this black guy who's a dog, like walks by, and he's just like, it was just so ironic that his father, who had suffered all this oppression, like would even like just be racist towards this other. It was fascinating. It was such a weird
like
ending.
My mom was like telling my kids how her grandma like fled to America not deal with oppression, and but she would like my mom's grandma would like freak out on gypsies, like the gypsies would be in.
Oh really?
So, because I guess like in the Ukraine and places like that.
Yeah.
They had lots of gypsies.
Yeah,
So
you're like, you get away from those gypsies, kids.
But my mom's not racist against gypsies.
Yeah.
But for the Cafe NELA, I tried to mix the different races together, but not not heavy-handedly or
there's nothing that's worse than forced like melting pots, or like where it's really blatant. All right, Jimmy, you got to hang out with Gary because
I mean, like we're both
background.
in like multiracial bands, but not from picking we didn't pick the band for like we need one of this kind of people, one of this kind of
exactly.
More like we need a drummer.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What was I gonna do? I'm in East LA. Of course, the drummer's gonna be Mexican. All right, next card.
But that shows people can. It's
Yeah.
easier to work together than to work against each other.
It's interesting because I feel like black, white, Hispanic, whatever, I feel like I connect to musicians.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't feel like I understood I've been playing music since I was like 16, but it was always like a hobby. I wanted to get into film, and I hated working in the film industry. It was the fucking worst. I worked there for like a year and a half, 2 years, on and off for that second year. And just the fucking worst. And someone told me, you'll find your people. It wasn't until I turned 23 where I formed Mango Napalm and then started meeting other musicians and kind of realizing, I get these people. I understand these people, and they kind of understand me. And kind of part of the reason why I'm starting this podcast, because I just want to interview.
Is this the first one?
Interview. Oh, no. This is actually, I think this is 30. No, you're 31. 31. Yeah, you're 31. I don't really promote it as much. I kind of wanted to do 50 under my belt before I started promoting, just because like it's still new to like these cards are like maybe like 3 episodes in. I just kind of figured this out. So, all right, next is science. Your thoughts on science? You didn't teach science.
No.
Let's forget about it.
And science is it's really interesting to understand
Yeah.
that's how the universe works.
Are you a fan
somebody-
of Star Trek at all?
I used to watch the old Star Trek.
The old Star
I didn't
Trek,
get into the whole like newer Star Trek
Oh, okay.
universes and stuff, but
I am now watching the Next Generation. That's the only Star Trek I'm watched, and I'm on like season 2 now, and it's pretty awesome. Yeah, what was the? I'm sure the first one was similar, but just less.
yeah, I mean, just growing up like in the 70s.
Yeah, it
If
was.
you have especially for cable TV, there's only like
There's only 3
7
channels.
channels.
Yeah, yeah,
and then,
right.
Like, most of them are just showing reruns of like in the 70s. Most of the daytime TV was like reruns of 60s TV.
That makes sense.
So you just watch like it'd be like Star Trek, Twilight Zone, Kung Fu, The
Right.
Munsters, The Addams Family.
Oh,
you know,
I love the Twilight
original
Zone.
Batman series. Just
Yeah.
over and
Just
over.
over and
again.
over. But yeah, back to science. The reason why I brought up Star Trek is just they bring up a lot of interesting scientific theories and dilemmas and moral stuff. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting show so far. But yeah, understanding our universe.
Yeah, because you understand like how old the universe is and just how big the universe is, and then how small the period of time that humanity's existed,
Yeah.
and how small the fraction of the universe is our little
Right.
part of it.
Yeah, and our lives and everything. Yeah, it really kind of brings you down to a level a bit. Next card. Here we go.
Yeah, like our extent of humanity in the universe is like, if someone had like a dime compared to like $14 billion. Yeah, that's how long the people have been here.
No, that's true. Goals. Well, we kind of talked about that. You had like 9 things in your mind. Here we go. Rock and roll. Who are some of your early influences?
Probably when I was a kid, the
Yeah.
ones we listened to most was the Beatles.
Yeah.
And then, my parents listened to like Neil Young, Johnny Cash, Bob Dylan. My mom used to listen to a station called KHJ, which was kind of like the rock and pop station in the late 60s, early 70s. And my dad listened to KLAC, which was kind of like a country kind of truck driver kind of radio station. So I learned a lot of stuff from there. Like that was like Tom T. Hall,
Yeah.
and Jennings.
What were some of the like first records that you were buying though? That you
First
were like,
record
yeah.
I bought was like for a 7-inch was the Ticket to Ride by the Beatles.
Oh yeah.
Not when it came out.
Right.
Like,
But just you were just like, I
bought,
want
like
this.
that, and then
Yeah.
like the King Tut record, I think at the same time.
Steve Martin.
Like Steve
Yeah.
Martin.
Awesome.
And then, I used to get the records, like starting in 8th grade, we'd go to like Rhino Records, and I'd just get records from the 99-cent bin, like Jethro Tull,
Yeah.
CCR, Rolling Stones, Black Sabbath.
Right. What were some of your like bands that did you get into any sort of like experimental bands or anything like that, like or just kind of like maybe not mainstream bands where you kind of discovering like, oh, who are these guys, and kind of like,
I was listening to like Frank Zappa in the 70s.
oh, okay.
They had a show called Dr. Demento.
Oh yeah.
We used to listen to that like every.
Where Weird Al got his start.
Yeah, like every Sunday or most Sundays we'd go to like my grandma's house,
Mhm.
and then on the way home, we'd listen to Dr. Demento while we drove home.
And they played Zappa. I didn't
They
even
played
know.
a lot of Zappa.
Oh, cool.
They played Beefheart. That's how I got introduced to the.
That's where you got introduced to
Devo.
it. Yeah.
Like Spike Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where like Weird Al got started. But it was doing a lot of novelty records, but also like weird kind of experimental stuff.
Mhm.
And then even before I was going to the shows, like there was we moved to West LA, we got cable, and then had a show called USA Network had a show called Night Flight. Like this is like about 1980, 81.
Mhm.
And that was like their video, like weekend, like kind of rock and roll video show thing. But at that point, you know, this is before MTV, there's like just not that many bands that had videos.
Yeah.
So whoever had a video, they would show. So like the Residents would be like in heavy rotation because they had
videos. Yeah. Rad. Yeah, you ever listen to Mr. Bungle?
Not really.
No, really. They're a huge influence by the Residents. They're one of my favorite bands. All right, last card. We're almost out of time. Art. What are your ideas on art? Either.
I tried to do Cafe NELA. It was kind of like a performance piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I see that.
yeah, that's part of why I was like 6 years. Besides financial reasons, it's just, it was kind of a
definitely a beginning and an end. Yeah.
Yeah, in the middle too.
Yeah.
And but it was like a kind of situational art where like you let other people, all these people can create stuff that you wouldn't be able to create by yourself, because there's all these musicians that would think of stuff that you would never think of. So by bringing all these people together, like there's bands like Corpuscle or something that just started at Cafe NELA. It was same music as a kind of art, but it brought together a community.
Yeah, it really did.
Through music and through art.
Yeah.
And that was the performance.
That's awesome, man. Shit. All right. One more card. It looks like we have a little bit of time. I hate to bring this card up. Jesus Christ. I have the death card, guys. It's the end of Cafe NELA. Oh, man. Let me just... how about we end this by saying... thank you, Dave Travis. It's been a pleasure playing at Cafe NELA. I made a lot of friends there. I feel like I grew as a musician just going there and being there. And so thank you very much. It's truly an honor to have performed there.
I definitely grew as a musician. I had to play with a lot of great people there. We did a bunch of bands of just like people, me and like whoever's working there at the time, like filling in for like canceled. And, just also like Cello Pudding, it gave like Carne Asada a place to play, but also just experiencing, probably like 3,000 or 4,000 different bands played there.
God.
And out of those like 3,000 bands, like 2,800 were really good. And it's and even the bands that weren't so good, you could learn something.
Yeah, totally.
So it was like a really big learning experience.
I can only imagine.
You learn something from everything, and then there's just so much. We had bands from like all over the world.
Right.
And just bands, old and young, new and old, and they're always bringing something to the table. So it's if you pay attention to stuff, you could always learn, and then you die.
We'll end it there. Thank you so much, Dave Travis.